Welcome to another episode of Black Feather Couture, Divining a VIP Life, and it is day drinking and tarot. And today I'm checking out a place called Postinos, and this is in Tempe, Arizona. I am ready for that glass of wine. Come and join me, and let's talk some transformation. So I am sitting out on the patio at Postino, and it is such a busy day. I'm so excited to be here. It's one of the first days where we've had above 80 degrees and everybody is out in full form taking advantage of the beautiful, nice weather. So Jayla is here, and she is going to pick a wine out for me right now that is all about the Emperor. So Jayla, I'm just going to tell you right now, the Emperor is divine masculine energy, super powerful, very much about boss energy, needs no permission from anyone to do anything, carries a lot of responsibility, and sometimes that responsibility is heavy, but they are capable of all of it. So let's meet Jayla.
Okay, so I picked the Centenario that we have. It's a Cabernet. It's one of our most popular reds. I picked the Cabernet because you said that the Emperor is very bold and he's the boss. And the Centenario is a very bold wine, and it's one of our heaviest, darkest reds. And I feel like if you're going to order a cab, you just have to go for it. And I feel like you're kind of a boss if you order a cab because they're so dark and heavy. So that is why the cat.
I love it, Jayla. Jayla is back. Here's my wine. All right, girl. Look at that. Perfect Emperor 4. Thank you. I'm so excited that we actually had someone willing to come on camera to break things up because, I mean, sure, I have a lot to say, and some of what I have to say you may find important, but, you know, park and bark all the time is not always so great. So let's have a conversation about the Emperor and see what she brought me today in terms of, she talked about that bold energy. She talked about not needing permission, and of course a cab is a perfect thing for that. Oh, it's got a bit of bite, which I think is great when you're talking about that Emperor archetypal energy, someone who is not going to take shit, someone who's going to say what they mean and be direct about it. But you know, there's also a hint of sweetness in there too, because I feel like any emperor, someone who is responsible for and in charge of, you know, a lot of people, their own empire, they need to have a little bit of sweetness. They need to be able to put a soft touch on things from time to time. Not that they have to do it all the time. That's the whole point, is they're like, I don't need anyone's permission to do this. But they definitely, I want to say from time to time, need to know when you catch more flies with honey than you do with shit. And that's what this drink is all about. Delicious. So, let's talk a little bit about my transformational journey in relation to the Emperor. And as you guys know, I moved recently from North Carolina to Phoenix, Arizona. And that particular move was not ideal. I planned everything down to a T, and life happens while you're busy making plans. And one of the snafus that came up for me was in the day of the move. I got notification that our flights had been canceled. This was at 11:30 at night. and we were supposed to be flying out at 6 in the morning, and had to, make some phone calls and figure it all out. And the long and short of it was supposed to be a direct flight. We ended up having to do a stopover in Seattle, Washington. And so I am, after a very long day of moving, and quite frankly, a long week of packing and moving, I'm trying to get some sleep and get into the hotel room and, get things all sorted out and make the phone calls and all the rest of it. And I now have to pick out a hotel in Seattle because we're going to have a stopover. There's no direct flight any longer. And a lot of it had to do with Merlin, my dog, who, because we were flying into Arizona, there was a heat streak of 109 degrees every day. And of course, anything over and above a particular temperature, it's not safe for them to be in the cabin for any length of time, or to be in the cargo for any length of time. So I got it. I was appreciative of it. I wanted Merlin to be safe. But at the same time, what a PITA. What a pain in the ass. So I get on and I book the cheapest hotel that I can find that's close to the airport, because we had a pretty quick, I want to say, or actually not pretty quick, but pretty early turnover. So we arrived in the morning at, I think it was like 7 or 8 o'clock Seattle time. We had a day to stay in Seattle, and then we had to be at the airport for 4 in the morning the next morning to get on our connecting flight to Phoenix. So I did all the research because I had my 3 fur babies. I had Merlin and I had the 2 kitty cats, Neo and Morpheus. And so obviously I needed a cheap motel that was close to the airport, that had shuttle service, and that was pet friendly. And I found it. I looked through a bunch of things and I found the one that was going to work. I booked it sight unseen after doing all of the research, and felt really good about, okay, now it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I can finally maybe close my eyes for 3 hours before I have to get up and start this whole journey. When we arrived, we had our 3.5-hour flight to Arizona. The shuttle service was very kind, but took over an hour to pick us up, and they were only 8 minutes from the airport. So that was quite stressful. And then we get into the motel, and I'm exhausted. My mother's exhausted. We've been lugging cats and dogs and suitcases and, going in and out of things. And I mean, it's been something. It's been something. And so all we kept talking about while we were waiting for the shuttle was how it was going to feel so good to be able to just camp out in a bed, order delivery, watch some TV, and not have to move, because it had been consistent move, go, go, go for 3 days. I get into the lobby, and this place that called itself a hotel was really like a 2-star motel. And the people were absolutely sweet, but this place was a dive. And I kind of knew that, going in. It's not like I had high expectation, but, it is what it is. And so I walk in, and they're super friendly, super nice. And I'm like, hey, so glad to be here. We are so ready to get checked in. And I mention about the pets. And they're like, oh, wonderful. What kind of pets do you have? And I said, I have a dog and a cat. And of course I lied. I have three animals, 2 cats, but every place has a two animal minimum. So I'm just going to be honest with you guys. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Emperor energy. I don't need permission to do what I need to do and what I feel is best for me and for my people, right? So I'm like, oh, I have a dog and a cat. And they're like, ooh, you have a cat? We don't accept cats. And the saga continued. And they had me standing at the lobby desk. I was exhausted. I'm on 0 sleep for almost an hour. And I had to stand there and say to them, nowhere on your website does it say no cats. It says pet friendly. You're open to animals. There's nowhere on there that says no cats. And I said, what is the issue that you're having? Like, I even tried the whole, can we pretend I didn't say I have a cat and I just have a dog? Can we go that way? Can I say that there are 2 dogs? And it was so interesting because there was a woman who was helping me as well as a man. And the woman was all about doing what needed to be done. And the man was like, oh, he was the stickler, right? He was the rule enforcer, and he was kind about it, and he felt bad about it, but he was like, this is how it has to be. And so I said, okay, well, what is the exact issue? Well, cats destroy things. Cats destroy things. I said, listen, I've already paid the pet deposit fee that was included in the price. I'll pay extra if that's what you're concerned about. But I promise you, we're only going to be here for less than 24 hours. And, we just need a place to stay. I told them that the exact same thing happened to me at the Raleigh hotel that I had booked the night before. That's a story for another time. And they were feeling for me, right? They were feeling me. But they were still saying it was adamant. No. And so then he goes in the back and he makes a phone call to his regional manager. And the regional manager says no. And there's all of this stuff. And because I ordered it through a third-party vendor, now I've got to make a phone call to Expedia to figure out all this stuff. I am exhausted. So what did I do? I literally just stepped into my emperor energy. I went very divine masculine, very hardcore, and I just said to them, whatever it is that you need to do, I'm not leaving here until I have a resolution. I need a room. I've got my pets and my mother in the shuttle. You took an hour to bring me to that shuttle. You're concerned about the cats destroying things. We're not even going to be here long enough for anything to happen. I have a portable litter box. I am like hooked up to the nines. Oh, and this was the other thing. They also tell me that their shuttle service that is included in the price doesn't start until 7 a.m. And we have to be at the airport for 4 a.m. So there's that on top of all of it. I want to say to you, these people did go above and beyond based on the situation and circumstance to make sure that I had what I needed. They called 7 different hotels and motels to see if they could find a place for us. And there was nothing available. They did their best to try and organize something from a shuttle service situation for me. And in the end, they connected me with someone from Lyft that, frequents back and forth. The whole point is I did not back down. I was not unkind. I was not rude, even though I very easily could have been. And I was so exhausted that I'm amazed that I even mustered enough energy up to cope with what was going on. But I just decided to make them uncomfortable. And I just stood there and I just waited until they figured it out. And in the end, the guy who was the rule stickler finally said, okay, I've made a second call to some other manager. You're absolutely right. There's nothing on the website that says that we are not cat friendly, but you are going to have to pay a $500 deposit for, refundable deposit for, you guys to have this room. And by the way, it's on the 2nd floor and there are no elevators. So we had to lug up 4 pieces of luggage, 3 animals and ourselves. And they were kind. They helped us out with that as well. And I have to tell you, it was the funniest as shit thing. I wish you guys could have been flies on the wall, because they get us up into this room and we go and we open the door and the place was a shithole. It was clean, but it was a clean shithole. And my mother and I looked at each other and just laughed. I said to her, what is it they were worried about us destroying? It was hilarious. Have handled that in so many different ways. I could have cried. I could have lost my shit. I could have just, rolled over and played dead. I could have walked away and, been in a worse state than what I was. But I chose to stand my ground and stay in my power. And in the end, I got what I needed. And that is what the Emperor card is all about. So cheers to that. So I'll leave you with some food for thought this week. Where in your life are you the emperor? Where do you embody that emperor archetypal energy? Or where in your life do you need to maybe embrace and embody that energy? Yes, everything can be I want to say dualistic. You can go to extremes. And yes, the Emperor card energy can be nasty and vile and vengeful, can be mean and cruel at times if it's out of balance and not in check. But when it is in balance and in check, this is the thing that is leadership. This is the thing that makes things happen. This is the energy that supports us to manifest our dreams, goals, and desires onto the planet. So where can you bring that into your life?
Here's your badass monthly guidance for Phoenix-led transformation. For you Copper Phoenixes, time is a ticking away for you. For my Iron Phoenixes, look at that peace and quiet. This is going to be a great month for you. Silver Phoenixes, okay, it's all about innovation, walking into something brand spanking new. Gold Phoenixes, get out of your heads. Let's meditate, not ruminate. Platinum Phoenixes, that wolf might be something that you can tame. It might be there for you. It might be there because it's got something important to tell you. Liquid Diamonds, past energies that have allowed you to feel that innocence, that wonder of a child, and bring that into your present moment now. Shalom, Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive, and welcome to Ruffle Your Feathers. This is badass monthly guidance for Phoenix-led transformation. And for those of you who are new here, welcome. So excited to have you here. And for those of you who have been around me for a while, you know I'm all about the Phoenix because we are ever changing. And, this is all about the Find Your Phoenix. So if you are new here, you want to pause this video, click on the link below, and go to the Find Your Phoenix quiz. It'll take you a minute or less to take the quiz and find out what Phoenix personality type you are, because this reading is all about your personal Phoenix type, your personality type. The FARC to work with the energies of what is coming up and coming around you today. So let's get to it. I am pulling, of course, for our Copper Phoenixes. Actually, I'm pulling from the Oracle of Visions by Ciro Marchetti, and we are starting with the Copper Phoenixes. So what do you guys need to know this month? Okay, so for you guys, in order to really create, to really manifest what it is that you are seeking to manifest, what it is that you're trying to create, you got to get quiet. I want to say you got to shut the fuck up for a minute or two and really listen to yourself. There is so much going on around us, especially now out in the world. There's not a single place you can go where you're not running into some, craziness, some nonsense and shenaniganery. And for you Coppers, you struggle with that. You like to feel more grounded. You like to feel like you got all your I's dotted and T's crossed and you know where you're going. This is how you're going to get there. If you want to create, if you are really interested in that co-creation and manifestation, if you are ready for the universe to deliver, you've got to get quiet. You've got to listen. And once you receive the information, the intuition, the inspiration, and it steers you in the direction of a resource, you got to apply it. You got to pay attention to it. You got to do it. You got to listen to it. Now, our guides, it's all about free will. If you choose not to, like I'm looking at this card and there's a little rat on this this rod, and it's leaning up into a butterfly and a ladybug. If you're like, ew, I don't want to use the rat, I'd rather use the ladybug, then understand you can do that. And your guides will shift and course correct to make that happen. But the quickest way to success is by listening to them and using the rat. Okay? So you want to really be aware of that. Don't get too in your head about things. You got to listen. You got to listen. That's the biggest message. Okay, for our Iron Phoenixes, let's see what crazy guidance your dream team wants you to know this month. Ooh, okay. So here's the thing. We all have our shadow side. This is a month for you irons where it's all about alchemy. It's all about facing the truth, facing the reality, facing the fact that you said the wrong thing and caused harm, facing the fact that you made the wrong choice, or you made a choice that did not bring you to the outcome that you were really hoping to get, and now you find yourself in a mess. This is, I want to say, those of you, we all have our own vices. We all have our own addictions. This is you falling off the wagon of whatever addiction or vice that you're dealing with. This is not about you beating yourself up for your humanity. This is about saying, why did I do that? What stuff around me was a catalyst for that or an activator for that? And what can I use now with this to make it work for me? How can I take this lesson, this learning, this wisdom, and apply it, change its form, add it to something so that it matters, so that it makes a difference, so that it changes me in positive ways? Irons, this is a month where it's really going to be the raw and the real. It's going to be facing, I call it like facing our demons, right? We all, and I don't mean like the religious demons. I mean all of those darker thoughts, darker approaches, the shadow work. It's the shadow work. Not being afraid of it, not being ashamed of it. And instead looking it dead in the eyes and saying, all right, let's do this. Let's dance. Let's tango. Because I need to get to know you so that I know how to work with you, to incorporate you, or to heal you, in essence. So you got your work cut out for you, but I'm here for you. I'm here for you. I feel it. I'm not an Iron Phoenix, but let me tell you, as I'm saying this message, I'm like, oh, okay, this is something I need to be paying attention to as well. It's something that's going to be coming up for me. So I'm in it to win it with you. All right, now we are at our Silver Phoenixes. What do you guys have to look forward to this month? Okay, this is really interesting. So illusions being shattered. I feel like for you guys, this is about pulling your heads out of the sand, about not all of you on every topic has your, head in the sand, or your, as my father says, your head up your ass. But about certain things, yeah. You want to really pay attention to what is it that you've been la 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 la, everything is awesome, when you're really just avoiding the truth of what has transpired. And here's the thing, I feel like this month is bringing up something where the illusion will be shattered. It's kind of one of those things where the universe gives us breadcrumbs. And if we don't pay attention to those breadcrumbs and we choose to ignore them and go a different way, the universe is going to amp up. They're going to start leaving drops of full slices of bread. And if you still ignore it, they're going to leave full loaves of bread. And if you're still ignoring it, then you're going to get the universal frying pan to the head, right? Or the rug being pulled out from under you. And then there's going to be 3 times the amount of stuff to clean up because they needed to course correct you, right? And you weren't paying attention. I feel like that's what this is. You don't necessarily have to have the illusion broken for you. You can break the illusion yourself. You can get ahead of this, but you have to open your eyes. You have to really admit to what it is that you are seeing, or what it is, even more importantly, what it is that you are feeling on that intuitive level. And if you're not acknowledging those feelings, you're doing yourself a disservice. But at the end of the day, I want to give you a little bit of hope around this. I know I'm like dun, 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 about this whole thing, but here's the beauty of it. We're seeing that the illusion is being shattered. This, glass ball with this little merry-go-round horses on there. But really, when the glass is shattered, the spirit of that horse can come to life. And that's what I feel is transpiring for you guys right now. It's an opportunity for you to come to life and you're not seeing it. You're missing you're not picking up what the universe is putting down. You didn't get the memo, or you got the memo and you just didn't like it. You didn't like what you had to do in order to move ahead. But the universe is saying, listen, we're setting you free. We're bringing you to life, but you've got to say yes to it. And it's one of those things where the universe is definitely going to course correct you. We always have free will. Even after a course correction, you can still go a different way and get in your own way. That's on you. You can do it more difficultly than is necessary. But what you're being told right now is just get out of the way. Just look and trust that you're going in a different direction. It's happening for a better reason. Gold Phoenixes, what have we got for you? Okay, you got to shift shit up. This month is not going to look hunky-dory. It's not going to look like sunshine and daisies, wine and rainbows. And in fact, I keep hearing from a communication perspective, when you are communicating with others, it is not going to go the way that you want it to. But don't lose heart and don't lose hope. I feel like what this card is really indicating for you is it's time to do things differently. What's the definition of chaos or crazy? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. My father used to tell a story years ago about how, the guy walks through the swinging door when he gets hit in the face with a bat. He's like, ow, that hurt. And so he kind of gets up and he regroups and he's like, okay. And then he walks through the door again, thinking, okay, that was just a one-off. And he gets hit in the face with a bat again. Ow, that really freaking hurt. Well, now, at the second time that it's happened, maybe it's not just you. Maybe there's something else going on. Maybe it's time to reflect and say, maybe I don't want to go through that door. I want to ask some questions, or I want to find out from things. The chaos and the crazy says, wow, that really hurt. And you get up and you go through the door again, and you get hit in the face with the bat again, and then you're playing victim mode. It's not it's you, right? At that point, it's you. It's not somebody else, it's you, and you've got to own it. This is what I'm feeling with this card this month coming through. You've got to pave a new path. You've got to go a different way. Even if you don't want to, take steps, even if it's baby steps, towards something new, because the old is no longer serving you. The ways that you have done things and approached things, and the ways that you have expressed your love to certain people, places, and things is no longer being received. It doesn't mean that you're bad or wrong. It just means that there's a shift in frequency. So rather than fighting against the shift in frequency, go with the shift in frequency. And it doesn't mean that you have to change the way that you love. It's more a reflection of how am I being received, and what are the ways that I can either improve upon that, or what is it telling me about the fact that this person is no longer receiving what I have to offer. Maybe this person and I no longer jive. Maybe I am no longer supposed to be investing as much, or if any, into this relationship or this job or this environment, right? Asking yourself those questions is important. All right, Platinum Phoenixes, what have we got for you? Ooh, lots of contemplation, lots of temptation, lots of distraction. This is a month for you guys to really get clear. I want to say for some of you, it's going to be about keeping your eye on the prize. What was my original vision? What was my original purpose for stepping onto this path or leaning into this thing? I really need to know what that is. For others of you, it's recognizing, okay, I don't have vision. There's a lot of option for me. I need to feel into what I really, really want, and then make choices based on that. What are the resources that are really going to help me to get there? Too much choice can often be detrimental. We often, think of the kid in the candy store, right? You walk in, you've never been in a candy store before. And you walk in, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and it's like a whole new world. And you're like, oh my God. And sometimes it's so overwhelming, you don't even know what choices to make, right? So for you, it's about really connecting to the vision and starting from there. Whether you've got the vision and all of these distractions are showing up to keep you from pursuing the vision or getting to where it is you want to go, or you're needing the vision, you've got all of these, options in front of you and you don't know what path to take, get quiet, get clear on where your heart is leading you, and then pick and choose what is required as a result. And, you can throw a little spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks here, but understand that you are in a mode of distraction. A lot of things can be the shiny new penny, but it's not actually going to get you to where it is that you need to go. So you got to keep it real with yourself about what you actually want to feel on the other side of this vision. Who do I want to become? Because it is your choice. It absolutely is our choice to decide who we want to become. And now we're at our liquid diamond phoenixes. What do you guys need to know for this month? Okay. Get the hell out of the past. You can't do a goddamn thing about it. There is nothing you can do about the past. You can't even bring it forward and recreate it because it's already been lived. It's already been done, and you are different as a result of that past experience. So even trying to recreate it is not going to be the successful experience that you're looking for because you're different. When we release the past and we really embrace what is in our now, I want to say that is the recipe for success. That is what we are here to do. We're here to create new and different and expand and grow. And yeah, we can create new and different from the old, but we can't bring the old because the old is a different energy. It's already been transmuted. It's already done its thing. I'm also really drawn to the blue in this card. I feel like for you liquid diamond phoenixes, blue is a color that's going to support you. This particular blue of what she's wearing puts me in mind of the high heart chakra. So it's kind of the thalamus gland. And that's where the throat chakra and the heart chakra meet. That is where there is a higher level of consciousness, a higher level of frequency, where you are speaking source through your life, through your experiences, through your conversations. She's wearing it. She's surrounded in all of it, but she's got her eyes closed and she's focusing on the past, the picture in the locket, the letters from yesteryear, right? From days gone by. She's even got this old, little security baby that she's hanging on to, this doll. She's stuck in the past. Even looking at her clothes, she's stuck in the past. So you guys really want to get real with yourselves about how much you are giving away your power by remaining stuck in something that already has been. It's had its due. I like to say it's the turkey in the oven. I'm done. Stick a fork in me. Like, pull me out of the oven. It's time for a different path. And you've got to be in that willingness state in order to do so. Because sometimes we get stuck there because we are afraid of what is to come. And yet what is to come is the inevitable conclusion. You're going to get there eventually anyway. So you can go kicking and screaming, or you can go going, woohoo, no hands, let's do this. And that's what I feel you're being called to do right now. So open your eyes, live your heart space through the choices that you make, and let the past be in the past.
So today I thought I would invite you in to my personal daily practice. And this is a ritual that I have been doing for a number of years now. I have a tarot journal and I connect to my own energies. I connect to the energies of my guides, and I tune in and I ask 3 questions that I would like to know for myself each day. And those questions change. And I'm gonna just show you and walk you through my process, and let's have some tarot and oracle guidance fun. Time to pick out the cards for the day. Ooh, this one caught my eye. Dreams Within Dreams Tarot. This is a great deck. And now I'm gonna pull an oracle deck for my day. And you know, I'm feeling a little rebellious today. So I think maybe I'm gonna look for my Sacred Rebels oracle deck. Ah, and I see it. Super exciting. And now for my tarot journal. Mr. Merlin is helping us out today. Markers and stickers, so important. My daily tarot journal, thought journal, and my daily tarot journal. And of course we have the oracle and the deck. We are ready to go. So today I chose pink. I'm in a self-love and self-care mood today, and I'm opening up to the specific day, and I get to choose 3 prompts, and I'm super pumped about this. What am I going to talk about today? What am I going to learn? What guidance do I want from my guides today? That is the question. And for me personally, I'm really in that reinvention mode. I'm rebirthing myself, I'm making myself anew, and quite frankly, I don't know who the hell I am right now. I know the basics, I got the goods, but I've just gone through a major phoenix burning. I've gone through the growing phase, I've gone through the emergence phase. I am now in that phoenix rising phase, and so it's all about experimenting for me. And this is stressful for me because I am an A-type and I want to know, and I always want to have something that I am working towards. And right now, I really don't have a ton of vision. So I think the first question I'm going to ask myself is, what do I need to know today about embracing my vision? The card. 9 of Cups. Oh my goodness, I love this. So what do I need to know today about embracing my vision? I need to know that it's wishes fulfilled, that I am in a space and a place where how I feel is dictating and creating the experiences that I'm choosing to have. And if I'm in that experimentation phase, the 9 of Cups is basically giving me permission to do whatever the hell I want to do, and everything's going to be okay. 9, we are in a 9 year right now, and I feel like this 9 for me is giving me permission to play around with how I'm choosing to serve. And that's been a big focus for me, is figuring out what is my message. I've been doing this now professionally for almost 10 years. And I'm really in that space of trying to figure out who I'm becoming in all of this. We all evolve, we all grow, and this has been a big growth year for me. So today, I'm gonna embrace these wishes fulfilled. My next question is, what card energy can support my self-care today? And it's so important. Today's my day off, and I need a little support with that self-care. And we've got the Judgment card, and the Judgment card has been following me around for a long time. This is actually the Phoenix Emerging card, and it's a card of decision. It's a card that says, it is time. It's time for me to make a choice. Do I stay or do I go? Am I about moving forward, or am I going to keep one toe in the past? And that is what the last few months has been for me, is completely releasing the past and moving forward into my tomorrow, into my future, into what it is that I want to experience. And right now, what I want to experience is different experiences so that I can explore what is working for me and what, kind of lights my fire and floats my boat. So today, in terms of self-care, I feel like this is especially because it's sort of a nighttime energy. I'm feeling like this is giving me permission to take a break, to rest, to relax. And that self-care is allowing me to go into, I want to say, the magic of the moon, to go into that intuitive space. It's okay that I don't know where it is that I'm going and growing right now. It's enough for me to imagine. It's enough for me to be at peace, to allow my mind to wander into unknown territory and see what is transpiring. I love this for me. And my third prompt is, what action step best supports my exploration today? Page of Wands makes so much sense. So I recently relocated from North Carolina to Phoenix, Arizona, and I am in the desert. I am Desert Queen. I am all about the fire and the flame and the flow and the all of it, the everything, the heat and the sun. And so the Page of Wands is an invitation for me to really be a student of my own passions. And I think it's really interesting that the question that I asked, what action step today best supports my exploration? I got an invitation to play. I got a student energy card. So, seeing as how it is my day off, I'm going to go and do just that. Maybe I'm going to do a little research and check out a new hotspot that I haven't had a chance to go to yet. That sounds like fun. And then I always like to pull an oracle card. For those of you who, are tarot enthusiasts or beginner enthusiasts trying to figure out how to make tarot work for you, I often recommend that you pull a tarot card that gives you kind of a general meaning, and then you pull an oracle card that's going to give you a very specific message, one that you can't talk yourself out of, and it's pretty obvious. So we're going to go back to card number 1, which was our 9 of Pentacles. What do I need to know today about embracing my vision? And this one's standing out to me. And I chose the Sacred Rebels Oracle deck from Alana Fairchild today because I'm feeling a little rebellious. So let's see what comes up. Oh, I got the Come to Life card. So when we're talking about what I need to know today about embracing my vision, I feel like that's what this is all about. I am being reborn. I am coming back to life in many different ways. And even though I've gone through many iterations of myself, I've gone through many Phoenix transformations in my life, and pretty big ones like this, each one is different. And I do feel this. For the last 3 to 4 years, I have gone through a major depression. I've had some really challenging health journeys. I've had some mental health journeys that have been going on. And I have felt very dead inside. And sometimes that happens when you're in the middle of a transformation and you're rounding up or rounding out a chapter in your life. And that's what I was doing. And I realized it while I was going through it. I just didn't realize how profound it was going to be. And in my brain, I want everything to happen yesterday. I want it to be super fast. So, saying goodbye to North Carolina and taking 4 years to do it was not what I had in mind, but that's in essence what my soul's journey was taking. So I felt dead inside. There really wasn't a whole lot of life in me. I was existing. I was surviving. And with this new relocation, I feel exactly like this. I am coming to life. So thank you, spirits. Thank you, angels and guides, for this validation. And for my what card can validate and support my self-care today, I had the Judgment card. So let's see what my Sacred Rebel has to offer on that Judgment card. Listening for truth, and it's another 9. I just want to point that out, which I think is really cool. So that is one of the things that I have been really putting a lot of focus and attention to for myself. Getting into the stillness and into the quiet of things. And I'm so used to being busy, going, doing, moving, shaking. And I feel like I lose touch with myself. I can, tune in for you guys all day long and, get the guidance, get the support, get the direction, whatever it is that you need. But in doing that all the time and neglecting myself, my own self-care, I often lose touch with my own connection. So listening for truth, I feel, is kind of a reminder for me, and maybe a little universal frying pan to the head, to do my own practice, to do my own meditation, to listen for what my truth is. I'm so busy striving to get the answer. I want the goal, I want the vision, I want this is where I'm going, this is what makes sense. Now I have something to work towards. And I really think that my lesson in this journey, the purpose of the experience that I'm having, is to go slow, to allow this new version of me to unfold organically. I don't have to control it. I don't have to drive the bus. I don't have to micromanage the universe. I'm going to listen for my truth today. And what action step best supports my explorations today? We've got that Page of Wands. So my rebellious nature, what do I need to know about supporting my explorations? Inner trust. So I have to laugh, I got to tell you guys. So 2 cards about trust, right? Listening for truth, which kind of has a bit of a trust energy to it. I want to say the come to life requires a lot of trust in what that looks like. Even the Judgment card requires a lot of trust. This inner trust that's coming up for me, trust is one of my core words for this year. And so this is definitely a message from my guides. I don't even have to read the oracle message in the book. My guides are saying, if you want to explore, you have to listen to yourself. You have to trust what is coming through, and don't be afraid to take those steps forward. Don't be afraid to move ahead. Don't be afraid to ask for what you want. And there have been a lot of things that have been floating around in this monkey mind for a while. And this, I'm grinning so widely because I feel like this was the message that I really needed to hear today, is when in doubt, bring it back to the basics. Keep it super simple, the KISS method. What is my focus this year? Alignment and trusting in that alignment. So that is how I'm going to fuel my explorations today. And there you have it. There is my daily tarot and oracle practice. And I love it. I absolutely love it. I get bummed out on those days when I'm too busy and I don't get around to doing it. What is your practice? I would love to hear how you stay on top of your own soul journey or just your own needs in relation to your connection to self and source. Please drop some info to me in the comments. I would love to hear it. Thanks so much, guys. I hope you enjoyed this little insight into, reinventing the psychic here and how I choose to enjoy the world and how I am choosing to reinvent myself one step and one card at a time. Transform well.